I mean, I'm just trying to find out, because what I do in my personal life is my personal life.
Correct.
And what someone else does in their personal life is their personal life.
Don't be doing all that. And I don't know if it's because he's a man, but he don't be doing all extra fine out stuff with him.
I seen him some on something. He look like a bum.
What?
He was looking like a bum, like he ain't shaved in months.
Oh, yeah, I seen it too.
There's no way this man is broke. There's no way.
Yeah.
If he is, I don't know where the money went to.
Exactly.
You know what? Yeah, what y'all say earlier.
Floyd. Mayweather's daughter has joined Shannon Sharpe in questioning Floyd's current financial issue. Shannon Sharpe recently lit the fuse on Undisputed, the Hall of Fame tight end and no-nonsense sports. Analysts called out Floyd Mayweather's paradoxical relationship with money and debt not allowed. We saw other great Joe Louis had this problem. He did Jugger. Robinson had to come out of retirement in 55 to settle. Floyd Mayweather has gone through this before. Sharpe said on air, referencing the boxer's previous $6 million IRS debt. What is it that you don't get? And I'm even more disappointed because you're on Instagram and on Twitter flaunting your opulence. You got bales and bales of money, you big ballin', and you won't cut the people their money. Sharpe's tone wasn't speculative. It was a direct blow to Mayweather's carefully curated image of untouchable wealth. What sparked this latest scrutiny was Floyd's attempt to get a reprieve from the IRS for a tax bill stemming from 2015 all the way to his gym collapsing from unpaid staff and multiple reports of his massive debts this year.
We saw other greats. Joe Louis had this problem.
He did.
Sugar Ray Robinson had to come out of retirement in 55 to settle a debt with the IRS, and even Mike Tyson. But what's so disappointing with me, Skip? Floyd Mayweather has gone through this before. What is it that you don't get? And I'm even more disappointed because you're on Instagram and on Twitter flaunting your opulence.
According to legal documents, Mayweather claims he has substantial assets, but that they are restricted, and primarily illiquid. His legal team added that he expects a significant liquidity event in the next 60 days to cover what he owes. And then came YAYYY. Mayweather, Floyd's eldest daughter, recently took to Instagram and added her own twist to the narrative. On the surface, it may have seemed like a flex, a celebration of her father's daring independence. But what it actually did was reinforce what Sharpe and others in the sport have started to wonder. Was it all just smoke and mirrors? In her Instagram story, YYA talked about Floyd's decision to buy himself out of his top-ranked contract in 2006 for $750. I bought myself out of my contract for $750K and then made $750 million from 3 fights. She quoted him, Canelo, Pacquiao, McGregor. These were the monsters that made Mayweather supposedly richer than any fighter.
Bro, you gotta understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
But the way she framed it, the tone, the timing, didn't come off like she was celebrating stability. It came off like she was revealing the truth. Floyd never built wealth in the traditional sense. To YYA, her dad placed bets, calculated massive bets on himself. And yes, he won over and over again. But now when the winning has stopped, and the show has slowed down, the structure is shaking to many. Floyd Mayweather never owned a financial machine. He was the machine, and that machine was only profitable as long as it was fighting, flexing, and moving money in and out like a casino.
That he's not sure he wants to fight anymore. And I think he's saying what he really believes. That doesn't mean that he won't fight. See, so I had lunch with some guy who knows Floyd. He's not that he's in the inner circle, but he knows him. And he said Floyd only likes to fight and wants to fight when he's broke. If he has money, he don't want to fight.
His real estate investments, his strip clubs, his car collection have all been seen as part of a larger illusion. And nothing about Floyd's empire was stable in the long term, and Yaya's subtle reminder the gamble that became his brand was a quiet admission that it all began with a risk, not a plan, not a legacy, a bet.
Floyd, okay? And he tried to plant fake news out here saying that he was in downtown LA giving out money, and then he was at the, what do you call it?
Leonard Ellerby Mayweather's longtime business partner and former CEO of Mayweather Promotions was recently said to have leaked financial documents showing that Floyd may have mounting debt surprise.
Mayweather.
It's who he is. I've always thought that he's a horrible person, and this is every bit of people.
While those documents haven't been independently verified or distributed, they've added fuel to the already burning fire whispers of debt, illiquidity, overextended assets. They all point in one direction.
Yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets.
There are also reports suggesting that Floyd's lifestyle hasn't slowed down. He still flaunts cash stacks like trophies, still travels like royalty, still gives interviews where he boasts about making 7 figures monthly from investments. But where are these investments? Are they tangible, sustainable? Or are they wrapped up in vanity ventures and high-maintenance assets that can't be flipped when the debts come knocking?
Did Logan ever get paid with the situation with Floyd Mayweather?
Nah, not yet. Floyd Mayweather's broke. You know, that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Sharpe's not buying it. It looks to me like a major driving force. He said of Mayweather's urge to fight Conor McGregor back in 2017, "I always thought it was Conor that wanted the fight Mayweather, wanted the big payday. Deep down, Floyd needed this payday because he's God." To settle a score, that score wasn't just about proving boxing supremacy. It was about staying afloat. The thing about a man like Floyd is that he doesn't settle for normally. He's either on top of the world or clawing back to it. And in that wild pursuit of greatness, normal wealth management rules don't apply. You don't stash cash when you're riding private jets and placing $100K bets on college basketball games. You don't slow down when your image depends on appearing untouchable. But the truth is catching up industry.
Puppeteer you however we want. Hop on for the ride and shut up. Instead of shutting up, I make fun of him on social media and let everyone know that he doesn't have any money. I kind of joke and I'm facetious and I point the finger at Floyd. Well, I don't know if it's his fault. Maybe a little bit, but something tells me Floyd doesn't control where the money goes. Or maybe he does. I don't know. And I don't really care. I just want my money.
Just recently, a series of reports came out about Floyd Mayweather suggesting he went on a shopping spree in the New York real estate market. Millions of dollars apartments and commercial space were involved overall. It seemed like something the richest boxer in the world would do. He even moved his residence to New York to see it through. Fast forward a few months, Mayweather appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. I don't know the exact number I own right now, somewhere upwards of 100 buildings or more. I think 99% of my buildings are in New York City. He admitted during the show catching 50 cents I won.
The money's really gone. Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money. All that money. It's been 2 years. So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like I don't even want to talk about it. Like within lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Do you think he should step back in the room?
Speaking on Instagram, the rapper clowned the veteran boxer, noting over 100 buildings and 99% in New York. LOL. That's cap champ. We should slap the stuff out you, Lou. That jab wasn't just petty. It was layered in a previous post. 50 had already expressed doubts over Floyd's latest business claims, stating, "Oh wait, I think Champ thinks he owns them buildings. They beat him out of the money." He was calling out what he saw as bluffing from a man who built his brand on being untouchably wealthy. Arnold.
That I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, yo, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making.
Backing 50 Cent's mockery, a notable boxing insider Rick Glazer came in with further speculation. Rumors of Floyd Mayweather Jr. being in financial trouble is hard to swallow, but is deeply rooted. I'm told Glazer tweeted this wasn't just empty gossip. It carried a weight of credibility given Glazer's history of being in the loop about behind-the-scenes moves in the boxing world. Suddenly, what was once laughable jabs from an old rival took on a more serious tone. There was smoke, and people started wondering if there was fire.
Limited edition AP, all factory, 1.8 million right here. The $20 bills section. We like to call it the Andrew Jackson section, but I like to call it wallpaper. 200,000 in 20s. I heard in the song you can get the biggest Chanel bag.
Business Insider then jumped into the fray with an investigation of their own. According to them, public property records in New York City showed no trace of the massive real estate empire Floyd claimed to have built. The New York City Housing Partnership also had no idea about any large-scale property purchases by the retired champion. That contradiction was glaring. If Mayweather truly owned over 100 buildings in New York City, someone somewhere in public records or housing development circles would have verified at least a fraction of that. But there was nothing. All those luxurious purchases, all that empire talk suddenly started to look like smoke and mirrors, not just exaggeration, possibly a facade to my lifestyle. Business Insider then jumped into the fray with an investigation of their own. According to them, public property records in New York City showed no trace of the massive real estate empire Floyd claimed to have built. The New York City Housing Partnership also had no idea about any large-scale property purchases by the retired champion. That contradiction was glaring. If Mayweather truly owned over 100 buildings in New York City, someone somewhere in public records or housing development circles would have verified at least a fraction of that. But there was nothing. All those luxurious purchases, all that empire talk suddenly started to look like smoke and mirrors, not just exaggeration, possibly a facade to my lifestyle. But Mayweather didn't stop there. On social media, he doubled down on his image of wealth and exclusivity. Recently, he started pushing a little-known Thai cryptocurrency called Asset. Developed by Acme Warawat, Mayweather's endorsement came with an odd promotion. He is offering a Zoom class hosted by the crypto founder himself, a $100 giveaway to those who made swaps worth $20 using the coin, and the kicker: one lucky person would receive one of Mayweather's WBC World Championship belts and a private boxing session. The whole campaign raised eyebrows. Why would a man worth hundreds of millions of dollars be peddling unverified cryptocurrency schemes and giving away championship belts for marketing gimmicks? It didn't make sense for someone who claimed to have hundreds of buildings and a legacy already cast in gold.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
This isn't just another celebrity hopping on the crypto bandwagon for fun. Fans are not buying the glitz. Many pointed to this as a sign that Floyd might be stretched thin financially. It looks desperate. And that's the word that keeps surfacing more and more around Floyd's name: desperate. The champion who used to flaunt money like confetti, who walked into arenas draped in diamond chains and thousand suits, is now being talked about like a man trying to plug financial leaks in a ship he once steered with absolute dominance. And now others are coming forward with grievances that go far beyond rumors and internet gossip. The narrative surrounding Floyd Mayweather, once untouchable, once idolized, is shifting. Once seen as the very embodiment of financial success in boxing, he now stands at the center of a storm surrounded by discontent from voices that were once.
I mean, it's the new wave. It's what everybody's doing. And I started, of course I started with boxing, but then of course now it's real estate. My real estate portfolio is crazy, but I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed. And if cryptocurrency is the new wave, you know what? Be the
One of those voices belongs to Amir Khan, who was even once considered a possible opponent for Mayweather. It is sad, he said with a tone that suggested anything but sorrow. But look, karma's a bee. He went on to paint a damning picture of Mayweather not as a victim of poor fortune, but as a man reaping what he sowed. The thing is, look how arrogant he is flaunting money. You can't throw money like that to people, because out there is a lot of poverty around the world. Khan sounded like someone who'd been waiting for this moment, someone calling time on years of unchecked ego.
With your mental health, we had to rely on a member that worked at Chick-fil-A that granted us some free Chick-fil-A cards, so we're all eating unhealthy meals to the point where we can't even go home and get some fresh fruit. We're not able to literally pay for our bills. The debt, it accumulated to the point where it messed with the mental health. My wife had to go to the hospital for stress and anxiety from this job. We accumulated hospital bills. It's just a lot of different things that just kind of hurts your heart.
For him, Mayweather's fall from financial grace isn't just inevitable. It's deserved. This wasn't a pity. This was judgment. And it came sharp to Khan. Floyd's public unraveling is the fallout of years spent living in a fantasy of narcissism and extravagance while ignoring the world outside his diamond-studded bubble. And it gets even darker. It's not just rivals and onlookers speaking now. It's people from inside the Mayweather brand itself. Employees from Mayweather's own fitness gyms are starting to tell their stories. And what they're saying is grim.
Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Don't see you. These aren't just one-off complaints. They're emotional, raw, and point to a deeper rot behind the curtain. A coach who chose to go public opened up about the toll working under the Mayweather name has taken on his mental health and home life. Honestly, it's been disheartening. We haven't been getting paid fairly. It messes with your mental health. My wife had to go to the hospital from stress and anxiety from this job. It's just a lot of different things that hurts your heart. And it sucks that you got to go through it working for such a big name company. The reality of it is, we're not even getting paid. It's not the kind of statement you expect to hear from someone working for a company branded under one of the richest athletes in modern history. But this wasn't a lone voice.